Here's the number one thing I see kill more tomato plants than anything else in Florida, and it's timing. You planted at the wrong time. Everything else, yellow leaves, blossom drop, you've got a nice healthy plant, but zero tomatoes. These things can all stem from poor timing. One decision that you made months beforehand, and if you don't nail timing, you can do everything else perfect and still walk away empty handed. So here's the thing, it's not always pests or soil or watering, even though those are usually the things most people first start to troubleshoot when they have failing tomato plants. But when nighttime temperatures get above 85 degrees, tomato pollen basically just stops working. The flowers may show up, the plant still looks green and healthy, but nothing is setting fruit. Have you had this problem before? I know I have. Now here's where most people get tripped up. Your seed packets say plant after the last frost. Every gardening channel out of the north pretty much says the same things. And look, that's not bad advice. It's just not advice for us in Florida. That's zone 6, that's zone 7 timing. By the time it's safe up there, we are already cooked, heading into the hot nights that shut down fruit set completely. So you follow the packet, you do everything right by somebody else's calendar, and you end up with a big healthy tomato plant right as the heat hits, and you get nothing to pick off of it. So let's get into real Florida timing. North Florida, you're looking at February, and then a second window in July or August. In Central Florida, this is mid-December into early January, then again August into September. In South Florida, we've got the easiest run here, mid-August all the way through early January. This is the biggest window in the state. Tomatoes are plants that greatly benefit from being started as transplants. So these dates that I'm telling you are the best time to start your tomato seedlings in trays. From this date, tomatoes will need about 6 to 8 weeks of grow time, and you will probably need to pot them up at least once during that time from a small cell into something like a 4-inch pot, okay? Now timing gets you into the window, but the wrong variety still won't set fruit, even in the right window. Walk into a big box store and half of those seed racks were bred for a short, mild zone 6 summer. They were never built for what we have to actually deal with here. So you want heat-tolerant varieties. Even better if you can get varieties that are resistant to nematodes, blight, and wilt diseases. Because our warm, humid environment and nematode-infested soils can make it tough to grow big box store tomatoes. I'm sure you've heard of the Everglades tomato by now, but if you haven't, it is hands down the easiest tomato I have ever grown here. They practically thrive on neglect. They're small, little dime-sized tomatoes, and that's something that's interesting, I think. Smaller cherry tomatoes are typically more heat tolerant than larger slicing tomatoes. Another tomato I also love is the Wani Flame tomato. It's a yellow tomato about the size of your average lime. The koala tomato is also a good one. It was specifically bred in Hawaii to handle tropical conditions like we've got here, and it's resistant to wilt as well. The Champion 2 is an exciting tomato. It's great for Florida. It's extremely heat tolerant, and its list of disease resistances is really impressive. It is an F1 hybrid tomato, which means it won't produce true to seed. So those of you looking to save seeds, maybe the Champion 2 isn't for you, but if you just want to guarantee a harvest, the Champion 2 is an excellent choice. And this is by no means the full list of tomatoes you can grow here. If you've got a tomato variety that you've had good luck with, put it in the comments. Let's help out our fellow Florida gardeners. But okay, if you get the variety right alongside timing, honestly, that's the whole game. The other things become so much easier, right? Once timing and variety are dialed in, though, there's still a couple little things that'll get you. Nematodes in your sandy soil, blight when it's humid and wet, calcium deficiency causing blossom end rot. These are all fixable, all secondary issues. None of it matters though if you've never had fruit set in the first place. So here's what it looks like when you actually get this right. Full clusters, not just healthier leaves. Fruit setting and holding week after week on your timeline. Not the one printed on a seed packet from a company that's never grown a tomato through Florida's July humidity. Now you know your window, but know your region only works if you actually know which region you're in. And it's a little trickier than it sounds. Coastal areas run warmer than you'd expect. The eastern panhandle can actually behave a lot like central Florida, whereas western coastal spots near the center of the state can lean more like South Florida. So I actually broke down exactly how to find your true microclimate, not just your county's listed zone, in my last video. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link to it somewhere around here as well as in the description. And I really hope this video helps you grow more tomatoes in Florida.